Uh-huh. Okay, so she's saying on the y-axis it goes from 1 to 8 up, positive numbers. And then below the x-axis it goes -1 to -8. Dylan, what do you see?
There's an X and a Y.
Okay.
But, I would think we could put a W, X, Y, and Z.
Okay, so explain that.
Because Y is after X.
Uh-huh.
And after Y is Z.
So you're thinking maybe there should be a Z somewhere.
And a W.
And a W. Okay, X, Y, Z. Okay, W, X, Y, Z. Well, that makes sense. I can see that. What else, Susan?
I see that like the middle is 0, and then everything goes like.
Okay, so Susan says it doesn't actually say 0 here, but she knows that if that is 1, let me zoom in. She's saying if this is -1, and that is -1, and that is +1, and that is +1, the only thing that cross point or the center place could be is what?
0.
0. And in fact, it is. It's called the origin. Which the word origin means like where you begin. Original. That's like the beginning. Okay? Or where you start. Yes, ma'am.
Are we gonna have like a test on this like soon?
No, not till later. We're going to do a lot of practice first. Okay, one more thing I want to tell you about that you have not noticed, nor would you notice because it's not actually on here. There are, well, this part's on there. There are 4 different quadrants. Okay? Because our learning target says that I can plot points in quadrant 1. Well, what in the world is quadrant 1? Ooh, people know? What do you know, Noah?
One of these big squares.
Okay, one of these big squares, absolutely. So you notice that your x and your y axes break it up into 4 quadrants, correct? Okay, where do you think we might start? If we're like the beginner level of this, where might you start in the beginner level, Gus?
The top left hand.
Top left? Okay, what makes you think that?
Because, like, I don't know, PE, we do it like that.
Okay, because that's what you do normally. You start in the upper left-hand corner and you write that way or you read that way. I'm going to tell you you're not right. But it's a really great guess because you're using stuff that you already know. What do you think, Connor?
Top right.
Top right. Okay, what makes you think the top right?
It's because it has all positives around it.
Because it has all positive numbers, and he is correct. Definitely. Have we talked at all about negative numbers in 5th grade?
No.
No, and really, the only time we will is when we're dealing with a coordinate plane. Okay? Quadrant 1 is a 5th grade deal. It's a 5th grade standard. That is this upper right-hand corner. Q1. So Connor is correct. But we're going to continue working with it because once you get the hang of it, it's really fun to do all the different quadrants. What do you think quadrant 2 might be? If the upper right is quadrant 1, and Connor said they're all positive numbers, what do you think, Laura Grace? What might be quadrant 2? The upper left. Why do you think that? Okay, because some of them are still positive, right? All right, she's right.
Could you just do the bottom right? Wait, the bottom right,
It
the
also,
bottom left corner is all negative, so
you're right. That is correct. But I'll go ahead and tell you this one is quadrant 3, the bottom left, and the bottom right is quadrant 4.
I would think the bottom left would be
I know, those two don't quite make as much sense unless you do this. And so I'm going to take, I didn't tell you to do this, but if you'll get out a blue pen and watch what I do. Just watch me first. Ready? If I draw a C for coordinate, I start in the upper right-hand corner. Then I go to quadrant 2. Then I go to quadrant 3, and then I end in quadrant 4. And I use the C because it's a coordinate grid. Okay, that's what it's called. Yeah, go ahead and draw it with your blue pen. Just quickly. Now, I want to add something to this little coordinate grid, which makes it a little more fun. I'm going to give you a set of numbers. They're going to be in parentheses. And we're going to figure out together what we're going to do with them, okay? So, first of all, parentheses 4, 3. Parentheses 3, 2. And then parentheses 0, 1.
Are we supposed to say anything about this?
Just have them down for me. All right. Now, tell me about these numbers in this parentheses. What do you notice about the numbers? What kind of numbers are they, Kathleen?
Well, they're all sort of in order.
Okay.
4, 3, 3, 2.
They are, which was not intentional. I will say that. That was just sort of an accident. But that was a good thing to notice. What do you notice about them, Margaret?
All the numbers, like, whichever one is, like, in the same parentheses, that number's right next to it, like, in the order.
And that's true, and that was also an accident.
Oh.
If we're looking at what type of, I'm not really asking you the right question, I'm sorry. What type of numbers are in these parentheses, Jemana?
It's the x-axis number and the y-axis number.
It is. And what type of numbers are they? They're positive. All of these numbers are positives, okay? That means that it's going to be in quadrant 1. Now, I will tell you that what we do when we are plotting coordinates is we take that first number. And that first number, let me draw my parentheses in pencil. That first number I'm going to do in green, it's your x-axis. X-axis number. And then you have a comma. And then you have your y. So you have to keep that in mind when you're doing it. And one thing to kind of help you remember this is that an airplane, does it just take off? No, what does it have to do first? What does it have to do, Reagan?
It like starts going forward, but then it's like slightly makes it.
Yeah, it has to take off on a runway, right? So it has to gain a lot of speed and go flat, and then it can go up, right? So the same thing happens when you have a coordinate grid. First, it has to go flat on the x-axis. Then, which we call run. It has to run, Will. Then it has to rise. Okay? So first, on our x-axis, let's try this one. It says 4, 3. What are we going to do here? What do you think? What do you think, Connor?
4 on the x-axis and 3 on the y-axis, and then come in on the middle of them.
Okay, so go over 4 is what he's saying, and then up 3, correct?
Yes.
And you put a dot. I have my green pen, yeah, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter about that. And can we call this one, let's call this one T. And so I'm going to write a little T underneath it. That point, his name is T. Okay? Let's do the next one. 3, 2. Let's call him H. Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. So what do you think we're going to do with 3, 2? Remember, if we're like an airplane, we have to run, and then we have to rise. All right, Franklin, what do you think?
Go over 3,
Yes?
then go up 2.
Up 2. And you put your dot.
Why don't you go Up 3 and over 2.
Because this first number in the parentheses, great question, that is your x-axis. So you have to go over. If it was a negative number, we would go backwards. But it's not. It's a positive number. So we're going forward. And then we go up. And that's where we stop. All right? I want you to try this last one. And let's name him A. Okay, where do you think he's going to go? Ooh, now we're catching on. Where's he going to go, Tanvir?
Where the
Origin,
and then go up 1.
Go up 1, good. So we didn't go over at all. That's okay. That's okay. You can also go over -3. That would just mean you go backwards. And if you went -3, -3, you would go backwards -3 and down -3. It's really fun. Okay. A little bit last year too. All right, let me give you maybe 2 more, and I think you'll be good to go for now. How about if I give you,
Do one of the other axes.
okay, let's try it out. -5, 6. Let's call him C. And -4, 7. We'll call him B.
Which one did we do it in?
Which what?
What quadrant to figure it out?
You have to look and see.
Okay.
Ha ha ha.
Well, there's 2 of them. Then
You put it wherever he belongs.
okay.
I'm going to freeze it so that the class can't see it, but that my loyal viewers, all my fancy subscribers can see.
Your class can actually see it whenever they see the video.
That is true. But you'll also see it in just a minute.